we're in an extremely competitive market right now, and it's common for properties to be going for over asking, and it's a multiple bid situation. So with that being said, a common question from the buyer is, well, what happens if the appraisal doesn't come in at that higher price that it has been overbid to? What are the buyer's options?
Sure. Well, hopefully it doesn't come up too often, but in this crazy market it does happen, and because the bank puts a second set of eyes on the value. So the first thing you want to do as a buyer is get a copy of that report, and you and your agent or broker go through it. Because there are times when there are mistakes made. You know, you want to look at all the comps that they used. If there's anything that's glaring, it's possible to go back to the appraiser and see if they're willing to make an adjustment. Although honestly, that doesn't happen that often. But that's the first thing that you try. The second thing that you can do is, as a buyer, you would go back to the seller. And the easiest thing, the best result for a buyer, is to go to the seller and say, Mr. Seller, I wanted to pay this price. The bank says it's not worth it. I'd like to continue the transaction, but I need you to lower the price to the appraised value. Depending on what the seller had in hand or what their situation is, they might be open to that. And if they are, that's great. The buyer just saves some money. If not, which is often the case, you might decide to sort of split the difference. Hey, I'll come up with, let's say there's a $10,000 delta. You can say, I'll come up $5,000 more of down payment if you come down $5,000 on the price. And hopefully that's enough of a compromise that it's a good result for the buyer. And if not, if the seller is just totally intractable, if the buyer really wants to buy it and they have the ability to, they can make up the difference in down payment.
Coming from the lending side, the good news is I'm not seeing this happen too often right now, right? I mean, the appraisals are coming in. However, it is a concern in some markets because there are significant bids over asking.
Yep.
And you have to be prepared going in. If you're in one of those multiple bid situations, it's good to know what your options are. At the end of the day, I'm seeing that splitting the difference is usually the best solution to the problem.
Yeah, the sellers don't want to start over. So again, you won the bid, so you would like to think that your overall offer was the best package for them. So even if it is adjusted, sometimes that can become a good option for a seller. So they are often open to that if presented in the right light to them.
Great information, Mike.
Great.
And if you'd like to connect with Mike and his team directly, check out successinmass.com, and we have more real estate tips just like this one right here on Real Estate Talk Boston.